We are less than 50 days away until the Premier League kicks off once again. And so we've asked our panel to give us their way too early predictions. It is just based on the squads that we know are available to these managers now. Taking a look at Ian Darke's first, and I suppose what stands out in the top four here, Mr. Darke, is that Arsenal aren't in it. Why such a drop-off?
I just feel that with them back in the Champions League, maybe their perspective will change. I think Manchester United will build on what they've done this year, particularly if they can pick up a 20, 25-goal striker. OK, that's a pretty big if. I think Liverpool are going to get their mojo back. I think Pochettino, in time, will sort out Chelsea, who don't have the distraction, of course, of European football. So I could see Arsenal finishing a little bit lower. I'm interested to see how they're going to use Kai Havertz. That deal's pretty sure to be completed in the next few days. So, are they going to do that? Are they going to get Rice? It looks like they are, despite the fact that Manchester City are now appearing to move in on the scene there. That'll be interesting to see what happens. But, hey, look, this is like trying to predict next year's Oscar winners, isn't it? I mean, let's wait till we've got the squads. But, look, for a bit of fun at this stage, that's kind of how I see it from long range. But I think we all retain the right to change our minds.
The Man United things, I think, Man United are a little more of a concern for me because the ownership change. And I think James Ollie touched on it when he was on the other day about Eric Ten Hag's already getting some early frustration about where the transfer recruitment may go, the budget. Obviously, as Ian mentioned, crying out for a number 9. Unlikely to be Harry Kane. He's unlikely to go anywhere. Kolo Muani was mentioned the other day from Frankfurt. But yeah, I think it boils down to the transfers. But United have been really slow in the past in getting their business done.
Chelsea in the top 4, though, for Ian Darke. Did that surprise you?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's not... On paper, talent, absolutely. No question, nobody will argue. Nobody on the planet will argue. But unfortunately...
No distractions, though, Stevie. No distractions from the Champions League.
Yeah, they've got one big distraction. It's the people that run the club.
Yeah, but football is a team game. Unfortunately, football is a team game. And this block cannot get themselves together. And there's so much work for Pochettino to do that there's just not enough time for him to get it together over the 50 days you said till we start?
Right, you're getting rid of Koulibaly, so. You're getting rid of Kante, you're getting rid of Havertz, you're getting rid of Mount, probably. There's Ziyech. There's a bunch of them going to Saudi Arabia, apparently. And yeah, you need to get rid of Deadwood, but, some of those were first-team players. So
it's just the no distractions point for you, Ian.
I think that's a key point. And yeah, I mean, they may not be suddenly metamorphosed into some great side come August, but given a few months, and it's a long season, there's a long time to accumulate the points. I could see them maybe sneaking into the top 4 by the time we're finished. But I'll repeat that this is a long-range view of things. You want to see what the squad looks like. I mean, I think it's a good thing. All right, they're losing a few quality players, but they've got a lot of quality players hanging around. The idea that Pochettino, what he's got to do is get rid of that Deadwood and get together a tight squad who all know what they're doing and work out what his best 11 is. From there, because they were a shambles last season. 650 million players through the door, not a striker among them. Nobody knew who was coming or going. The training must have been pretty shambolic with 40-odd players hanging around. You'd like to think that Pochettino will quite quickly sort all that out and get a streamlined squad and start to work with them.
So, Ian, you've got Liverpool finishing 3rd, but you have Alexis McAllister as your player of the season in these way too early predictions. Is he that special of a player for you?
I like Alexis McAllister. He can really pick a pass. I think he's a really fine player. I mean, hey, look, it's a left field pick to start a bit of a summer debate, which is what we're about doing here. I could see him having a big effect, really, at Liverpool. I think he'll fit in very, very nicely there.
All right, let's move on to talk about Stevie Nicol predictions, because there's a notable absence in the top 4. You can probably guess who. Manchester United. Why do you hate them so much?
Who said I hated Manchester United?
You said it in your predictions.
Not at all. You can think what you like. I just look at... I look at what they have, and I'll think of what they need, and I don't see how they're going to get it. The whole nonsense with the change of owner means that there's a good chance that there's not going to be much money spent, and they need to spend a lot of money. And they can't keep... the odds against them doing what they did last year, they won so many games by the odd goal. It was unreal. Somehow they managed to get it done. You can't keep relying on that. Particularly when you've got Liverpool, who we know are going to be better.
Do we?
You can't... Absolutely.
Well,
they can't be any worse than they were.
Well...
Let's be honest.
Well...
They finished... What did they finish? 5th? At one time they were 10th. So they're going in the right direction. They've signed McAllister. So
Player of the season.
Right. They're not going to be worse. They're not. Newcastle are not going away. Newcastle are not going away. And Arsenal, are you telling me that Arsenal are just going to collapse? We know City are the team to beat. So straight away, are you telling me that Man United are definitely better than Arsenal right now? Are they going to be definitely better than a resurgent Liverpool? Are they going to be better than Newcastle?
It's amazing how Liverpool are resurging, isn't it? I knew. I tell you what, I could have put the house on Liverpool making the jump into the top 4.
Right.
Well, I don't think it's a huge leap, is it? From 5th into the top 4? Is that a huge... Listen, if Tom Brown said they were going to be champions, then I would deserve a slap in the back of the head. But I didn't say that. I just said the Man United, right now, for me, probably won't get in the top 4.
Let's see if Craig agrees with you and who he's left out of his top 4.
I do. I'm not so confident. I think...
Right.
Well,
yeah, good.
Well, they did finish outside the top 4 last year.
Oh, they did, yeah.
Right, and I'm not...
But they're already better. They're already better signing McAllister. So, Man United have signed nobody.
So Liverpool are already better because they've signed one player. They've still got the problems at the back. They've still got the Trent Alexander-Arnold headache.
Man City didn't do bad signing one player, did they, last year?
Yeah, but Man City are a very good side. Liverpool not.
Oh. Do you see the way they finished the season? That doesn't count.
According to you, last year Liverpool needed a whole new midfield. They've signed one player, and now that's it fixed. I doubt it.
I never said it was fixed.
I doubt it. You said they were better.
I said they were better. Well, they are better straight away with McAllister.
I'm not convinced Liverpool will make the jump.
They're straight away better, aren't they?
No.
Ian thinks that they are going to finish in the top 4. He's got them finishing 3rd. Why do you see it that way, Ian?
Oh, because he knows what he's talking about. That's why.
Because I think Liverpool, if you look at what Liverpool have done over recent seasons, last season was a blip, wasn't it? A big blip, admittedly, went on most of the year until that late surge, as Stevie said, they got up to 5th place. But their normal form and their normal performances under Klopp have been of a pretty high standard over the years, with a few important trophies thrown in. So I think really with everything that's happened at Anfield, and I heard an interview with Robertson, the fullback, after he finished playing for Scotland, talking about Liverpool. And I think everybody at Liverpool knows that he wasn't good enough, and I think that's going to concentrate their minds. And they've got the talent there. I think Núñez, for instance, I think he's probably, in his second season, I think he's probably going to be much more of a factor. And they've still got Salah, they've got Jota, they've got Diaz fit again. They've now got McAllister in midfield. I wouldn't mind betting they get another midfield player as well, because I think that was a problem area. They've still got Van Dijk at the back. OK, he may not be quite the Van Dijk of a couple of years ago. They've still got a great goalkeeper. So, hey, look, I think they're going to reclaim the top 4 place that they've been filling most recent years.
Is Europa League a distraction, or is it a good thing to have?
No, it's a distraction. Thursday, Sunday. I'm just not convinced with Liverpool, to be honest. I'm not, and a lot of it's the manager. I don't know if he can regain his mojo again. He had that incident with the officials. He was smarting. He was, even it looked as if he was going to quit on his chair in the corner at one point last year. It was so bad, so inconsistent. I think they'll be better, but I think others are going to get better. City will be just as good or better. I think Arsenal will improve with the players. Newcastle will improve. United is a big question. I'll give you that. But if I'm Newcastle, signing Tonali, the back four they're probably not going to tinker with, or the goalkeeper. Chelsea, I'm certainly not convinced about. So I've got them in 6. I'm just not sure Liverpool are going to be able to regain that energy and dynamism that they had almost all of Klopp's spell. So that's why I've
not changed anything, because we were hoping for a bit of controversy from you, but really it's
what do you mean,
it's
controversy?
Just the same as...
Well, having Liverpool outside the top 4 isn't exactly...
Well, what do you mean controversy?
Well, it's the same as this end of this season, so we thought there might have been some changes.
Oh, that's the same as the end of the season?
Yeah.
I don't know, I can't remember. I don't think back to the end of the season. I don't see... Well...
The top 5 is exactly the same.
Well, I think Man City will, unfortunately, for the Premier League, I think they'll win the league again. Whether Arsenal push them all the way, I don't know. I mean, if Harry Kane goes to Man United, which is probably, 1% chance?
That's not the conversation we're having, isn't it? We've gone from the very early, possible, nearly top 4, and not to talk about who may or may not come in. That's a different thing. We're talking about what they've got, right? That's what we're talking about, isn't it? So we can't...
I didn't even know when I said that, and that was last... I knew, obviously, Man City and Arsenal, but I didn't really bother below that.
Right.
I mean...
But I think that, for me, is kind of... And Haaland,
Arsenal's still the best of the rest, basically, then.
particularly if... Well, look, the Havertz signing, we can debate all day. How much he's going to play, will he be consistent? He's definitely going to beef the squad up, there's no doubt about that. If they get Declan Rice, then it's a big get for them.
Yeah, but if they don't...